And welcome to
Nightly News starts now.
Nightly News starts now. Do I go?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon and welcome to Nightly News. I'm Kelsey Walker.
And I'm Robert Sutton. Sorry about those technical difficulties. Today is Friday, March 20th. We begin with Sigma Alpha Epsilon at the University of Oklahoma. The fraternity is banned from campus after a racist video chant went viral. Nightly News went to Oklahoma to talk to students about the incident. Some are still surprised that a fraternity would get caught up in something much worse than the keg party stereotype. University of Oklahoma student Gregory Melsby says behavior like this shouldn't be tolerated.
Of what the typical fraternity kid is, except racism's not really a part of that. And for that to be something that has been brought to light is pretty alarming.
Well, the Greek letters are gone and no trespassing signs now dot the building. Although the University of Oklahoma is on spring break, students say the controversy is still looming on campus.
Following this issue at University of Oklahoma, Nightly News wanted to know how this is impacting the community right here at UCF. Reporter Jack Ebel joins us live to hear how students are reporting locally or reacting locally. Jack?
Yes, Kelsey, and the racism discussion started by that fraternity video has made an impact on the UCF community. And I spoke with students to get a pulse at how they feel the conversation is going.
Is still alive.
Even though it's a really bad thing, some people still believe in it. But I can definitely tell that it's declining in America.
Some students at UCF say although racism is still around, the problem is improving. But UCF student Desiree Smith says the video sends a harsh reality.
It makes it very real to know those are the kind of people that I sit in class with every day, the kind of people when I visit my physician that I trust my life with or trust my money or whatever kind of thing, and to know that they feel that lowly of me and my people.
Elizabeth Santiago, secretary of the Latin American Student Association, says the topic of racism needs to reach all races.
This learning experience is for everyone. It's not just for Latinos, it's not just for Blacks, it's for everyone to treat each other fairly. That's what this country was designed to do, so we just need to start actually following it.
But students like Brianna Davis say this is a lesson that some aren't paying attention to.
It all just goes back to kindergarten. We learn these basic rules when we're born. Treat others how you want to be treated. Be kind to one another. All this blase blase. When we come into the adult world, you're still seeing it go on.
Santiago concluded it is sad to see these events still happening.
Racism is not okay. This is, we're heading into 2016 now. It's crazy.
And students say although there isn't an immediate solution to racism, it starts with us. They say speaking up and holding each other accountable is the best start to an answer. Reporting live in front of the Nicholson School of Communication, Jack Ebel, UCF Nightly News.
Thanks, Jack. Orange County deputies responded to a call Wednesday morning for a 20-year-old woman after reports of the woman being sexually assaulted. The incident occurred at 1:23 a.m. on Socrates Drive near the Marquee apartment complex. The suspect is described as a 6-foot-tall white male with close-cut brown hair and a well-groomed full beard. Anyone with information is urged to call Orange County Police or Crime Line.
And Tuesday marked 2 years since the attempted attack on Tower 1. UCF officials say they've been amping up security ever since. On March 17, 2013, UCF police found Tower resident James Sivaku Martin dead in his dorm room from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. They also found 2 guns, a backpack filled with improvised explosives, and a written plan to attack students. Since then, the school improved its campus security by adding new emergency response tactics, more officers, and better weapons for the UCF Police Department. And the university also expanded its active shooter program to better prepare staff. And on Wednesday, local, state, and federal emergency responders showed off the equipment used to keep you safe. Helicopters, SWAT tanks, and canine dogs were on display at Memory Mall. and students had the chance to see and wear some of the equipment worn by first responders. The event was part of UCF's Night Share Expo, which is dedicated to emergency preparation, response, and recovery.
And if you commute through downtown Oviedo to get to campus, you may want to start looking for a new route. The project that is tearing down most of the historical district is underway. I looked into how the changes will impact the famous Oviedo chickens, local residents, and business owners. The iconic Oviedo chickens currently enjoy the peacefulness of the historical downtown. However, that is all about to change. Construction recently began on the three-phase project that will tear down most of the area and primarily widen the roads. Nick Gonzalez grew up in Oviedo and hates to see the area get wiped out.
We're getting absorbed by kind of just trying to follow the trend of other cities, and we don't have our own identity anymore, especially if we lose the chickens.
Local residents raise money to help protect the chickens, but the project is not only impacting the lives of the beloved birds, but the local residents and business owners as well. Gonzalez says downtown just won't be the same.
This is what downtown Oviedo has always been and why people move into this area to get that small town life, and we're losing it.
The Florida Department of Transportation is paying local businesses to relocate or rebuild elsewhere. Marty's Auto Works is in the path of construction. Shop manager Alex Ingram showed me where they will rebuild their shop farther back on their property if they choose the option to stay.
I don't want to move. I live a mile up the road. So, and then to have to change and rebuild a new shop, and the process to go through that, we'll definitely be in the hole for a little while, get adjusted.
Ingram says the FDOT has not given them an exact date, but knows Marty's is in phase 2 of the project. The city of Oviedo says construction is underway, but there have been some delays. So, for the moment, the chickens are free to roam as they please. And in efforts to help the Oviedo chickens, one family stepped up and is using the money raised by the town to build a coop. It is intended to house hens that need to be relocated and will serve as a safe place for other chickens at risk in the future.
Man, those chickens look fantastic. Where'd you find them downtown?
Ironically, I found them outside of Popeyes.
So,
but the weather was beautiful. It was nice and sunny.
Good to be
Maria,
out there.
I know. Maria, what can we be looking forward to?
Well, the weather is warming up. It's the first day of spring, but it feels like summer out there right now. It is 80 degrees and very sunny, so make sure you have your sunblock if you are heading outside. As usual for Florida, the humidity is pretty high at 60%. Low chance of rain at 20%, so enjoy that beautiful weather now. I'll tell you later about some rain you can expect early next week later in the show.
Thanks, Maria. When we come back, hear from two students running for SGA president and vice president.
And find out how a gap in Obamacare is forcing a local woman to live without coverage. Stay with us.
my name is Richard Stein.
My name is Mo Barhamji.
Mo, he's a very health conscious individual. So he always takes these weird nutrients, vitamins. I remember when he went on his cruise, he had a suitcase dedicated to vitamins.
Richard is just always out there doing crazy things, and it's honestly, it's the crazy things that just make our lives.
That was student government candidates Richard Stein and Mo Barhamji. Nightly News is hosting a debate between all three tickets running for SGA, president and vice president. Be sure to catch it here next Tuesday at 6 p.m. You'll hear from the other candidates throughout the show.
And it's been 5 years since President Obama signed the Affordable Care Act into law. Those in favor said it would help millions of Americans get health insurance.
But one Orlando resident says she's still finding the struggle to find coverage. She's still struggling with it. Natalie Pellicetti joins us with more about this law. What can you tell us, Natalie?
Yeah, Rob. Well, at its most basic level, Obamacare, or the Affordable Care Act's purpose, is to give more Americans health care coverage. A new Commonwealth Fund study shows there are 5.7 million fewer uninsured young adults compared to last year. But despite the rocky start, the national surveys and enrollment data show this is America's largest health care expansion in 50 years. I actually spoke to one woman who is fighting for her life. The Kaiser Family Foundation reports there are 764,000 uninsured Floridians in the coverage gap, and she is one of them.
My dream is to have Obamacare.
And President Obama says that's the goal for all Americans. Kathleen Woolrich needs it. Health problems aren't making things any easier. She started out with an autoimmune disease.
That turned into respiratory problems, which turned into diastolic heart failure.
Kathleen is one of the people who falls into this strange gap. She's a self-employed real estate agent who makes too much money for Medicaid, but not enough for Obamacare.
I work, so I don't fall into the category of getting straight Medicaid, but I don't make enough to get the subsidies that would allow me to buy Obamacare.
As a single mother, Kathleen not only looks after herself, but her children as well.
We live in almost an emergency responder kind of life. My daughter knows that at any given moment, somebody else could pick her up from the daycare, and it may just not be me.
But Professor Aubrey Jewett explains that Obamacare is actually helping Floridians overall.
Florida was one of the states with the highest percentage of people without health insurance before the Affordable Care Act passed. We now actually have sort of led, I don't know if we're the leader, but we're certainly in the top 5 states with people signing up.
A lot of people have signed up, but Kathleen still can't get it. She is not, however, giving up, and for good reasons.
When you're sick, each breath counts. I want to see my daughter go to college. I want to watch my 10-year-old go to UCF.
For expansion or not, this law affects a lot of people across the country and right here in Florida. Florida is one of the 17 states that has yet to expand Medicaid. Professor Jewett says that even though it was on Governor Rick Scott's platform, he doesn't have the sole authority to make it happen. Rob?
Thanks, Natalie. We now know former Governor Charlie Crist will not run for the U.S. Senate. Crist posted a statement on Facebook Monday to announce his plans, or lack thereof. Crist ran for governor in 2014 but lost to incumbent Rick Scott. He's made no mention of other plans for his political future.
As UCF looks ahead to expanding downtown, it wants to hear students' thoughts on the project. On Wednesday, officials held the UCF Downtown Forum. There, students made suggestions about what they would like to see at the downtown campus. Sophomore Scott Benton will be a senior when the campus is scheduled to open. He asked leaders how they plan to keep the same university feel in downtown Orlando.
I feel we have the best on-campus experience in the state of Florida, and I want to make sure that new students get to have that same great experience and get to go to these concerts and have the different initiatives that SGA offers.
20 acres of land are zoned for UCF and Valencia College. The space will be the learning grounds for more than 10,000 students. And coming up, 2 more SGA presidential and vice presidential candidates discuss their platforms. Plus, Vanessa Rodriguez will be here and have our national headlines.
And Maria Laporto brings you your full forecast.
Okay.
So I'm not going to do that right now.
My name's Kate Zona.
I'm Jarrell Jones.
Someone asked, how did I pick Jarrell? And I didn't pick him at all. We kind of came together and threw ideas back and forth.
I do this because I love it. I've been involved in SGA since high school, and I just love putting on the events, providing the services.
That was presidential candidate Kate Zona and vice presidential candidate Jarrell Jones. Don't forget you can tune in here on Tuesday at 6 p.m. for the live debate between all the candidates. Rob, there's a lot going on around the country recently.
That's right, Kelsey, and it's time to take a look at our national headlines with Vanessa Rodriguez. Vanessa?
Thanks, Rob. Now here's a quick look at what's going on throughout the nation. Another fraternity is in the hot seat after pictures of unconscious women, drugs, and hazing surfaced on Facebook. Student Affairs officials suspended the Kappa Delta Rho Zeta chapter at Pennsylvania State University. And earlier this week, the national chapter also suspended the fraternity for, quote, the most serious misconduct. The fraternity was exposed when a member showed the Facebook photos to authorities. Penn State administrators say they are working with local police to determine responsibility. The arrest of a University of Virginia student was caught on tape, and after a bloody head injury needing 10 stitches, state police are facing backlash from the community. Martise Johnson is shown face down being handcuffed by 2 police officers. You can hear the student shouting, "Racist! How did this happen?" Now Virginia State Police are investigating the incident. Students joined together and protested on campus Wednesday night, demanding justice for Johnson. Hashtag Justice for Martise is trending on social media. Now that's all the time we have for national news. Let's check in with Maria Laporto for a look at our weather. Maria, I know you've been tracking some rain and some high pressure areas. What can you tell us?
Yes, Vanessa. I've been tracking an area of high pressure over Texas. You can see there's some precipitation forming, and that is actually going to move towards Florida in a westerly area pretty soon here, but not until Monday. So we have the weekend. And up in the northeastern area over there, there's a lot of snow and ice still forming, even though it is the first day of spring. So if you have any travel plans, that might give you a couple delays. If you look at our Florida precipitation map, you're going to see that there are some isolated showers down south, probably in Miami, Fort Lauderdale area. But for right now, it looks pretty clear for Central Florida. And if you look at our current temperatures, you're going to see that our temperatures are warming up. Even though it is the first day of spring, it still kind of feels like summer out there. So up in Tallahassee, it's 76. So that's cooler. But in Jacksonville, it's 80, Orlando, 81. Tampa 79, and Miami 82, so perfect beach day. And if you look at our 5-day forecast, you're going to see that it's a beautiful weekend to be outside. There's not going to be any rain. Well, there's a little bit of rain, but not as much as Monday. Monday is when you're going to want to bring your umbrella for any kind of outdoor activities that you have planned. The rest of the week, Tuesday and Wednesday, they look great, nice and cool. So it looks like a great first week of spring, Kelsey and Rob.
Thanks, Maria. Looks nice out there. Try to get to the beach.
It does.
Up next, the final 2 SGA presidential and vice presidential candidates discuss their vision for UCF.
And Allison Henning brings us our weekly sports update.
My name is Brian Zagraki.
My name is Alex Bennett.
Just her character and just how she presents herself and how she carries herself when she's around other people. That's what I admire most about her.
How understanding he is. We kind of get frustrated sometimes with each other, but since we complement each other so well, it's always easy for us to get back on track.
That was Brian Zagraki and Alex Bennett, your final two candidates running for SGA President and Vice President for 2015.
And be sure to check back here Tuesday at 6 p.m. for the SGA live debate between all the candidates.
Now get ready for our UCF Sports Update.
Hey Knights fans, I'm Allison Henning, and here's a quick look at your UCF sports update. The UCF women's tennis team fought hard earlier this week in a conference event against Tulsa. After a 3-match winning streak, the Knights lost 6-1. Tulsa took the doubles point early on, but Courtney Cesarini and Monica Matias didn't give it up easily. After being down 5-1, the duo won 3 games in a row to get back into contention at 5-4. Tulsa closed the match, finishing 6-4 against Cesarini and Matias. Now moving on to singles, junior Caroline Eberhardt tallied a victory in the 3rd set super tiebreaker, giving the Knights 1 point in the match overall. The UCF tennis team couldn't make it 4 in a row this week, but they have no plans of throwing in the towel. One young Knight credits her team for her impressive record and performance on the court.
Tennis is a very lonely sport sometimes.
To freshman Monica Matias, tennis has always been an individual sport, but now she has her own tennis family here at UCF. Matias loves the feeling of playing for something more than herself.
I haven't really been part of a team, so it's really nice to know you have so much backup and so many people you can rely on and count on.
The Puerto Rican native joined the squad last fall, and she's already killing it on the court. She has only 3 career losses as an individual and consistently makes the starting lineup. Matias credits her success to the team. Hearing the girls cheer drives her to play her best.
It motivates me, it makes me want to do better. Like for myself, yes, it's good, but knowing there's people counting on you makes you try harder and play even better.
There's no doubt that the team dynamic keeps her moving in the right direction. Her doubles partner, Courtney Cesarini, sees Matias improving every day.
She's helped our team a lot, and we can always, we count on her, we trust her, she's just a great person to have on our team. I'm happy she plays for our team and not anyone else.
Matias plans to continue growing with her team's support. The Knights are 7-5 on the season and will finish out their 5-match homestand tomorrow. They face Temple at 2 p.m. at the UCF Tennis Complex. That's it for sports. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Allison. That's all we have for the first half hour. Joining us now is Lila and Arnold.
So guys, can you give us a sneak peek of what's coming up?
Well, we're going to be bringing you the myth behind the mystery of the Pegasus seal.
Yeah, but we don't want to give too much away because it's going to be very, very exciting, so you have to stick around.
Wow. Well, anything else we can get a preview
yeah,
of?
There's something that I'm really excited about. There's talks about Starbucks delivery, and I'm a big fan of Starbucks. How about you guys?
Oh, definitely.
I do have my Starbucks days, but I also hear Alex Pring just got his 3rd Ironman arm from UCF.
Yes, we'll be telling you a little bit about that as well.
Yeah, he's turned into a bit of a local celebrity for a kid his age.
He has, and some real celebrities actually even came to deliver him the arm.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, he got to meet one of his heroes in one of the biggest days of his life.
Yeah, so you have to stick around because the next half hour is going to be a lot of fun. We have a lot of interesting stories for you, so stay with us.
We're looking forward to it. So please join us in our second half hour. Until then, stay tuned.